What's going on, guys? Rob from Heroes Avenue, and this is the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Review. What makes it quantum? I don't really know. I just wanted to add that in the title. What's going on, guys? It's been a long time since I made a video. I apologize for that. But with Comic-Con around the corner, we're going to definitely be wrapping up our videos. But I did want to give my 2 cents on the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie that just came out over the weekend. Hopefully you guys saw it, because there's going to be some spoilers in here, though it is going to be kept real short because, as you can see, I'm not at home. I don't have my green screen behind me, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. So I really enjoyed this movie. There's a lot of aspects I did enjoy, and looking around the internet, I'm seeing a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people tend to enjoy it, but there's a lot of things that people are really picking on and addressing as a negative, and I can't fault them for that, because there are some negatives in this movie, but for me the negatives are outweighed by all of the positives for this movie. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about all the things that I really loved about this movie first. So the first thing is that this movie delivered on what you expected. Now it doesn't get bogged down by a super complicated story. You get thrown into this movie and it delivers on exactly what you expect from the trailers. This is not no Infinity War situation where you get a ton of footage that was in the trailer and that's not actually in the movie. Everything that was in the trailers pretty much made it into the movie. There was no plot twist. Well, there might have been one plot twist with the Ben Foster character and the main villain, Ghost. That's right. There was a twist, as you can see in the movie, but it actually didn't shock me too much. I was almost kind of expecting it. But to be honest, yes, after what we saw in Infinity War, a lot of people, including all the kids in a lot of theaters, were super bummed out about the ending. And now Infinity War was incredible, but after that type of movie, I definitely wanted to come into this movie and see a continuation of the first Ant-Man movie, because that surprised everybody. The first Ant-Man movie came out of nowhere and really made disbelievers like myself believe in a small character like Ant-Man, that he can carry a movie. So that was something I really enjoyed and was really looking forward to continue Scott Lang's story in this. But as you guys all know, in the title, it's not just Scott Lang. We got the Wasp. The Wasp was super kick-ass. Evangeline Lilly is so badass in this movie. I was super excited to see the dynamic between the two, especially in the action sequences, which I think were pretty amazing and really highlighted the Wasp and how badass she can be and just how much of an asset that she can be to Scott Lang and Ant-Man. So that was really incredible. Unlike previous superhero movies, this movie is not about saving the world. It's not about saving a city or a town. It's about saving one person. 2 people, technically, if you want to get technical with Ghost, but it's really about saving Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm. And that, that was really cool to me, because in a lot of superhero movies, it's always the superhero trying to save the world from the explosion in the sky, or the beam coming out of the sky, and a ton of enemies that they just have to kill, and there's really no stakes at all. So it was really refreshing for the hero to actually be kind of selfish and try to save just one person. And as you can see in the movie, you see in the city, they were kind of disregarding all the other people around them. Not that they were trying to hurt people, but you see all that they went through just to save Janet Van Dyne, and just how important she was to Hank Pym, and I was really excited. And it was cool to see Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer de-aged with that barf technology. That's actually the real world that's actually real world technology taken from Avengers. That term was taken from Avengers, but it was really cool to see them age down. I would actually be pretty interested in seeing some sort of prequel movie with them. Maybe that could be added on to Ant-Man 3, whatever that comes out. I would like to see more of them in the past with the new technology that we have now, making it really, really believable, seeing them as their younger selves. But that was really cool. Another cool thing about this movie was seeing car chase scenes in the movie. You obviously saw them in the trailer. I hate car chase scenes. I'm not a fan of the Fast and the Furious franchise. If you are, hey, all power to you, but I am so sick of, I'm just not interested. The car chase scenes are usually, for me, it just feels like filler most of the time. But during this movie, you get to see a unique take on car chase scenes, especially with the shrinking technology that they have. And that was really a plus for me, because, the car chase scenes were super highlighted in the trailer. So you knew that was going to be a big sequence in the movie, and I really enjoyed them. in those car chase scenes, you got Michael Pena. So speaking of Michael Pena, that guy is incredibly funny. I think the one thing that everyone expected in this movie was to see Michael Pena go through his storytelling like he did from the first Ant-Man movie. And, you know, he did not disappoint. There at the point where he begins to tell the storytelling scene, you can see everyone kind of just sit up in the theater getting ready for it, and it's funnier than I could have ever expected. And man, I'm gonna watch this movie again just to see him do that scene. It would be so incredible if I could have Michael Pena narrate my life, because he would make my life sound so much more interesting than it actually is. Yes, so Michael Pena, incredible. He delivers on that scene. Okay, the catalyst to Michael Pena actually doing that scene was Sonny Birch, I believe, was the side villain. And you know, while he wasn't the best side villain in the world, he did serve his purpose in this movie. He was that kind of that villain who you knew was never going to succeed in the first place, but he just kept getting in the way of the hero. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and lead to some things that I kind of didn't like. To be honest, I didn't mind them, but you know, these would be considered dislikes. So the villain Ghost didn't do what I would think the director intended her to do. I mean, serve her purpose at least. She was meant to be a sympathetic figure, I think, but to be honest, I didn't really sympathize or care for her that much. I was rooting against her the whole time, and you know, it was pretty cool to see the phasing abilities she had. I thought there was going to be much more of that in the movie. And, you know, that's one of the things that I hear people complain about a lot is the character Ghost, because she's such a departure from her character from the comics. Actually, it's not even a her, it's a he in the comics, and it's more of an Iron Man villain. So a lot of people were disappointed with that, but to be honest, I had no problem with it, you know, knowing that they're going to change a lot of the source material in this movies and interpret it in different ways. I was happy with the Ghost character. I mean, she didn't make me sympathize with her at all, but that was fine because I was here to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp kick ass. One other thing that bothered me was the science in this movie. Like Scott said in the movie, what do you guys just do, put quantum in front of everything? The science in this movie was so dumbed down and overly simplified that I felt like this was really the directors and the actors talking to kids. Now that's all fine and well, because you know most of the audience is a younger population, so you don't need to make anything really complex, especially with a small character like Ant-Man. But to me, it did really sound dumbed down. The movie actually got pretty meta with its commentary, with Scott Lang's line suggesting that, you know, what do you guys just put quantum for anything? Because it knows it's not taking itself too seriously. It knows that you're taking leaps in logic with some of the things that they're talking about, quantum entanglement, you know, in this movie. Like, what the heck is that? It's like, it's not really explained, and it's not too believable. You just gotta throw yourself in and just go with it. And if you do that, I think it's fine. But that is one of the knocks against this movie, is the science behind it did not sound too believable, at least in my opinion. And that is about all that really bugged me. You know, some people were upset that Janet Van Dyne only appeared at the end of the movie, and some people even say Scott Lang was dumbed down so much for this movie. And I can see some of the points and why that might be annoying to some people, but to be honest, I thought this movie served to highlight the Wasp most of all, because we were introduced to the Wasp for the first time, and it's the first time a female superhero is actually in the title of a superhero movie, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I believe that is the first time we get a female headliner in the title. So I think this movie served to highlight the Wasp along with Scott Lang's story, because it's such a heartfelt story. His daughter killed it. I love his daughter Peanut in the movie. I forgot her real name, but I'm gonna keep calling her Peanut. She was so cute, and it was really fun seeing their interactions, a little bit more of their interactions in this movie. And I hope to see more of her in the future. And so that's what I thought about this movie. I really enjoyed it, and really I'm gonna go see it again. All of the dislikes, or the couple dislikes that I talked about, are things that I really, you know, are just in the back of my mind, but I really threw those away, threw those out, and I really focused on what I really liked about this movie. And I think after Infinity War, if you go into this movie wanting to enjoy yourself, you are going to enjoy yourself. So that's my thoughts, that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think about the movie in the comments below. Give this video a like if you can, it really helps the channel. Subscribe to us if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram at Heroes Avenue, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.